Whoever loves Stephen King, you will be ecstatic. Another show that has been a part of popular culture for decades, Jeopardy! Recently featured a category on the author's extensive body of work. There is an abundance of trivia possibilities due to his extensive body of work, which includes horror, mystery, adventure, and fantasy novels. And that's not even taking into consideration his successful history of having his works made into films. Many moviegoers have been thinking about King since one of his stories, The Life of Chuck, was just released. In the Jeopardy! Round on June 17, 2025, host Ken Jennings gave the contestants, Stephanie Meyer, Dan Hopkins, and returning champion Sarah Cox, a series of terrifying hints. How were their results? The first box at the top of the eponymous category, like many $200 clues, asked what kind of circus performance it, aka Pennywise, embodies. This was a layup for any fan, casual or otherwise. Sarah got it right, and she showed what a die-hard King fan she is by getting 4 of the 5 hints about the King match accurately. The answer to the $400 clue was Pet Sematary, because any query regarding reanimating an animal had to be about that film. Though it didn't mention Children of the Corn, the $600 hint did mention He Who Walks Behind the Rose, which is a reference to the right answer, corn. Dave made a mistake when he said that stories about girls with unpredictable psychological abilities made him think of Carrie. But the $800 hint pertained only to Charlie McGee, the Firestarter girl who possesses pyrokinetic abilities. Sarah was unfazed by this. Fortunately, no one else buzzed in, so the returning champion was able to complete the category sweep with the $1,000 clue. This resulted in a triple stumper, and the correct response was Hearts in Atlantis, which was later made into a film starring Anthony Hopkins. Dan would emerge victorious from the match, taking home $10,799 during Final Jeopardy, despite Sarah's category dominance. In categories centered around an artist's work, the questions tend to lean towards popular works. This is particularly noticeable in less frequently featured categories on Jeopardy, like the NASCAR round that popped up in the June 18th program. The Stephen King group avoided asking questions at the most natural place. With the exception of it, nobody would rank any of the right answers among his most renowned works. Furthermore, the slate of hints did not rely excessively on his film adaptations, which may have made the task easier. While films based on King's books, such as Shawshank Redemption, Rita Hayworth, and The Body, have become cultural touchstones, the hints lean heavily toward his earlier works and avoided his extensive collection of non-horror literature. You might think that Jeopardy! Would draw inspiration from King's current work or something lighter and sentimental like Life of Chuck, given that Mike Flanagan adapted the novella from King's unpublished works, If It Bleeds, which is now playing to rave reviews and is part of the author's 2020 collection of unpublished novellas. Stephen King has been associated with Jeopardy! Since his own appearance on Celebrity Jeopardy! In the 1990s. King finished first in the match, collecting $11,400 for his charity, which funds the Bangor Public Library in his home in Maine. His opponents were David Duchovny of The X-Files and Lynn Redgrave, a famous British and theatrical actor. Bob Callan, a librarian, made an interesting discovery during a match in April 2025. He said in his mid-match interview that he was frequently confused for Stephen King. You could fill a whole quiz sheet with questions about Stephen King's works if you wanted to limit yourself to just his books and their film and TV adaptations. Jeopardy! Can hardly do justice to King's body of work with its 5 categories. If you're a fan of popular culture, you'll love it when there's a category just for you. When you breeze through every Stephen King question, you can delude yourself into thinking you could dominate the Jeopardy! Stage.